Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. I don't know about you, but I didn't hear any music. So if there was a wee bit of a silence on the
I
track
heard
there,
it.
apologies. Oh, did you hear it? Or maybe it was just me then.
Yeah.
I told you the system is glitching on me again. Streamlabs have been in peak form for the last month or so. They definitely went on their holidays, haven't they? But we're here for the Sorare deadline show, and it's the week that was. We're getting warmed up for a wee bit of Club World Cup action, which is not really the deadline for today, but it kind of could be if you wanted it to be. And you're under 21s, contender, Gold Cup. There's tons of stuff going on. I'm Quinny, of course, and I'm joined by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Weird to be joining you on a Thursday, but it is what it is. Doesn't feel too weird, but weird enough.
Indeed, it does, mate. And it was a kind of move that they announced the change of the game weeks, and I remember people saying to me like, "Oh, this just messes X, Y, and Z up." And when they change game week deadlines, I'm always just like, I'll wait till I get to it, and then I'll know like what's actually happening, because it always just knocks your kind of your Sorare clock off, doesn't it? In terms of where you're at with stuff. So here we find ourselves on a Thursday, and fist bumps to his on arrival, Ricky Lomas. There is lots of doubles and lots of triple game weeks this game week, Harry. Is that a good thing? That's kind of DNP proofing some guys, maybe.
Yeah, I think for the under 21s, isn't it? There's a lot of triplers, but I can't imagine the same guy really plays all three. There might be the exception, but I reckon there'll be. Yeah, it just means that like you kind of know you're going to get a score out of somebody. It's not going to be like triple DMP. They'll definitely play in one because they usually, they take them to these tournaments to at least have a run out in one game. So, yeah, you can use those type of cards without worrying too much.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just it's not the same as sometimes when you get it in other leagues where it's like, oh, double game week, and you think, all right, 2 chances to smash. It's
Right.
for maybe the key guy if the group's still a wee bit contentious, maybe. But like you say, with these under 20 tournaments, we've seen a bunch of them, Harry. Is this our third or fourth one? I think being Sorare players, certainly
Yeah, could be
3 at
third
least.
or 4th.
And if someone makes the squad, it's very rare someone doesn't make a group stage appearance. There is always maybe one or two that don't quite make it, excluding goalkeepers. But yeah, for the most part, guys do see the pitch, whether it even be from the bench. So, where to play my Sorare team, and that's probably one of the biggest question marks for this one. I managed to pick myself up a special edition Griezmann, so I've got a wee bit of more. Like I could go here or go there, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it's a pick your poison game week. Harry, have you struggled with that yourself?
A little bit. I mean, I didn't have a ton of in-season cards for the Club World Cup. I could have made a team, but I ended up just selling. I had a Pascal Gross in season. I chopped him off. Someone offered me some money for my Muller this morning. I was like, it wasn't even up for sale, and I was like, he's going. I've got a classic. And then that was it for the Club World Cup guys. But then I had obviously I've got that Huijsen who I could have played down in rare. And I've got like a Delave. It would have been an okay team. I don't think I would have really done too much. It would have been a classic keeper. So I kind of just pied that off. I did have a look on the auctions and stuff when the the rare summer cards went out and stuff. I was just been so busy last week or so. I haven't really been able to just sit down and bid on something. And I looked on the secondary yesterday. There's like a De Bruyne up, but I think he's left, hasn't he now? Or I don't know, but
Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't be asked. I'll just leave it. So yeah, I'm just playing. To be fair, I'm just playing 3 classics in World Cup, and then obviously U23s as usual. Bit of MLS, and then just a cheeky couple of All Stars. To be honest, nothing. No, I didn't really have too much. Like I'm not going into the arena at all this game week purely because I don't have a summer card, and I don't have any of the in-season ones now. So quite straightforward for me, which has been nice. What about you?
Across all competitions, Harry, I just checked there. We have 14 lineups for this.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Which is quite punchy, I feel. I did. So Deke absolutely hustled me. I don't know if I mentioned this on a deadline show or whatever, but Deke put out one of those reports of like international keepers for Gold Cup and all that kind of stuff. And I bought Thomas Romero thinking that I'd seen him not be called up for El Salvador before, and I thought, well, NYC have just signed him because they lost Barraza. That's probably kind of written into the situation of everything. But Deke put out a thing saying he was going to go to El Salvador and play international or sit on the bench like he normally does. So I went and spent just under 50 quid on 2 Ranjit Singhs, who's the number 3 goalkeeper. And obviously Romero's not went. Sort of thing. So I've got the 2 Romeros in season, which is cool. And then earlier today I spent 3 quid on a limited in season just for basically like training guys, you know what I mean? But there's a wee wild outside shot of some in season limited win a $4 payout or something, you know. But yeah, for the most part, it's all those World Cup teams, and I've got 3 teams for that, I think, or two, and under 23 euros, under 21 euros, sorry. So I'm quite looking forward to it. All of the lineup projections that we do here on the Deadline Show are, of course, powered by Predictify. If you haven't done so already, when you sign up and create your Predictify account, use code Quinny Harry at checkout. Directly supports the show, me and Harry Trades, and also do a great job for the community, because especially when we're coming into stuff like this, Harry boy, wait you see, for any of you guys that are just tuning in now, the breadth of matches we've got to go over. There's all sorts of things happening all over the world here. So whether you're going for an all-region package where you get everything at the tip of your fingers, or just for your region specific, it's always great to have these right before you come into the deadline. Someone who's already done the legwork for you. They're maybe a club local kind of expert, or there's someone that's just really on the hustle with all the intel, so that when you come to build your teams, you've just got a little bit more insight, a little bit more info. And I think we'll start with Bayern Munich Auckland, Harry, because you mentioned you sold to Thomas Muller. And the reason for that is he's pretty nailed on to start against Auckland City, who you could get a game for, Harry. And that's not a slight on you, mate. That's not a slight on you, you know, far from it. I'm sure Auckland City would be happy to sign Harry Trades, you know, but that's the level of opposition they're coming into here. And we've seen Bayern in the lower levels of the German Cup. Like they don't take any prisoners. They'll smash somebody 13-0 if they want to. So this could be wild.
Yeah, this could be nuts. And it's mad how apparently strong they're going, which I'm not like surprised at, but yeah, it could just be a bloodbath. Like Bayern could just absolutely rip it, and there's just nothing left for us, nothing left for anyone else to scoop up rewards wise.
Yeah, and this gives me big Germany World Cup vibes, you know, because anyone that's anywhere near our kind of age groups, Germany in World Cups, there's been Muller, there's been Mario Gomez, there's been Timislav Klose.
Yeah.
They smashed the World Cup, and most of the way they do that is they beat Saudi Arabia 6-0 and get 5 goals or something, you know.
Just that pad, yeah.
So Muller against Auckland City, he knows the script here. He's done this journey before. He's on his swan song with Bayern. This is one of the last appearances he makes for Bayern Munich. So, like, this is going to be the ripper of the game week. I don't think there's any getting away from it.
100%. I don't know, the one thing when you were mentioning the Predictify, like percentages and stuff, I think it's really useful to. I mean, I'd give him 300% if I could. The like the predictions, obviously, like the percentages, it's really nice to just like be able to just go on Sorare as well and look at what Inside have on Sorare, so you can kind of just cross-reference without needing to pay for it. Obviously, you know, you can only do that 24 hours before, but it's a nice little feature where you can just sort of work your way around, you know, what they've got. I know there's no notes or anything, but still pretty fun to use it that way.
We'll jump over this one to echo everything you said there, Harry boy. We'll jump over to Inter Miami. They're playing Al Ahly, and the good thing about the Club World Cup is the deadline isn't actually until Saturday for these games. So these projected lineups are good to know and good to see right now in case you want to keep someone out of All-Star or under 23 and keep them to the side, and you can wait for it later on. But Inter Miami against Al Ahly. I was saying in the previous stuff I was doing for this, I find it really hard to imagine that Inter Miami get out their group. I find it really hard to imagine Inter Miami have a good tournament. But I also find it hard to imagine Messi doesn't kill people. You know what I mean? Messi doesn't Messi. This is probably the best chance of it against Al Ahly.
Yeah, I think it's opening game as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
sure.
It is.
Yeah. I think you'll be half. I mean, like, yeah, you should still Messi, really.
Yeah, you think so? We've got Champions League winners PSG playing Atletico Madrid, and my wee wonder kid that's been I got a wee rookie for Harry, who's on loan at Reims, back in the squad, and he's in the depth.
Wow. Okay.
He's in the depth.
That's a good sign. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Savinov. Yeah.
Hakimi 50-50.
Didn't realise Beraldo might play as well.
Yeah, 50-50 with Marquinhos. Lucas Hernandez, I beg your pardon, 70-30 over Mendes. But yeah, this midfield spot with Jon Snow is a bit of a coin toss. Meulu as well, the final hero, has got a bit of a 50-50 thing. And it's whether PSG go all out against Atletico Madrid off the heels of the Champions League and obviously international football for a lot of their team. This is how Atletico look to line up, and that's more nailed, but there's still some 50-50s flying around. Weird, tough game, isn't it, for this group?
Yeah, it's not a great opener, is it, really? I mean, it's tough to see PSG not winning if they put out a really good team, but at the same time, if they kind of don't, then I think it could be Atletico's to maybe capitalize on, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they just look at the other two teams in the group and both think we'll take 6 points off of them and just not lay a glove on each other in this one. Let's just take it easy, guys,
Definitely.
Felipe Anderson, you still holding?
I do have one, yeah. I don't think well, he might actually scrape into my third team now you've said it. Yeah, I've still got one. Yeah.
You play a bum in match day 2, so you think they'll go hard against a Fletty and then rotate. But yeah, Facundo Torres, Victor Roque, Felipe Anderson. There's a wee bit of attack stack in here for Palmeiras, certainly. And against Porto, I don't think they'll be scared. Oh, Cabri Vega's on to start.
Oh, that's fun.
Be still my beating heart.
I can't believe you've still got him. That's incredible.
Oh, do I play him? But
I mean, yeah, I would. Why not? Have you got a super lineup or just a rare?
Nah, no supers.
Oh, what about, does he fit in under 23 or is he too old?
Oh, you might fit in under 23, by the way. I'll maybe check that out. That could be fun. We've got Botafogo against Seattle Sounders. This is quite a good one if you've got cards involved for either team, I think. Arthur Cabral has just made a deadline day signing from Benfica back to Botafogo. So a guy that performed well in the Swiss league, and then it's kind of not really worked out for him. He's been okay in Italy, and I don't think he's really got a crack in Benfica. But guys like that, normally when they go back home, that's why I picked up that Victor Roque. They generally do all right, after having that European kind of experience, lifting the ceiling of expectations, but they can't quite meet it. They take that back to wherever they came from, and they normally do none too bad. And Seattle will be looking at this thinking, we can get 3 points here. Every win, Harry, is worth $2 million.
Jesus.
Every draw is worth $1 million.
Wow, they'll be right up for it. They'll be right up for it. Tough game though, Botafogo.
Yeah,
I don't know if Seattle aren't as full strength they could be. Obviously, with like Yaimar out, there's a couple of others. Miovski maybe that might not start, but that's not through injury. I don't know. I mean, it's relatively full strength, but the Brazilian teams are just horrible to play against. Like, I just can't see that being an easy day at the office for Seattle.
I think it's their only chance of 3 points, really, in the competition. I think the other two teams are like PSG Athletic or something like that, or I forget the groups how they sit at the moment, but yeah, this is kind of like their final if they're going to make the money. Because the Seattle players had little protest bibs on. Do you remember that? Like a week or two ago?
Yeah, they weren't happy about it, yeah.
Yeah, they want more cut of the money.
Of course. Of course.
So, yeah, they'll be going for it. We've got Chelsea at home, not home, sorry. Muscle reflex there, but they are playing LAFC in America. So, if anything, LAFC are at home. Any new signings in the frame? No, it doesn't look like it, but pretty strong front to back.
And LA signed. Oh my god, who did they sign? They signed Dill Rawson.
Dill Rawson. Oh yeah, Dill Rawson. Yeah.
Yeah, from Club America.
Oh yeah, he's not in the depth here. But this is pretty full strength for them, isn't it? Buanga, Giroud started to score some free kicks and stuff. Lloris. Again, LA will be up for this, but Chelsea should smash them.
Yeah, definitely.
Could be good for Cole Palmer, multi-decisive. Boca versus Benfica. This is the sort of game that when I hear Club World Cup, this is the sort of thing I want to see. Proper big teams, passionate fan bases. Maybe the squads aren't particularly vintage, but this will be colourful. This will be, obviously it's in America, so you don't really know how well it'll be attended by the fans, but this should be a heated one on the pitch, certainly. No Cavani from the start, but I think there's a lot of good players here that have been scoring pretty well. Zenyon, Merentiel, Alan Velasco, know quite well, obviously. Lautaro Blanco at left back, Marcusson in goals. That's an alright wee team. Feels low scoring, but when you look at both of them, like it's going to be 1-0 Benfica or something. That's how I kind of feel about this. Benfica team looks good. Angel Di Maria making his final Benfica appearances in this tournament as well before joining Rosario. I think we spoke about the Rosario unveiling video last week, didn't we, with the ears? Was that me and you did that, Harry? Yeah. I
didn't realise I guess Madrid haven't bought Caceres yet, have they?
No, I don't think they've got it in before this deadline, but it might happen in the summer.
Got you.
I don't think they've gave up on him, but it's just before that transfer window, they couldn't get it over the line. That's a fun one. Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund, again, another Club World Cup type fixture you want to see. Ganso, this is going to be good, by the way. Ganso still going strong, bit of old gold there. Thiago Silva at the age of 65, still playing. And Borussia Dortmund, Pascal Gross should be just a magnet for all around in a game like this. I don't know how good Dortmund are in this type of game. Brazilians are not easy. It is in America as well. Dortmund have not been fantastically good for the most part. We'll get better towards the end of the season, but this will be an interesting one to see how it pans out. You didn't want any part of Gross, did you?
I mean, I definitely would have had I had like a good core around him, but I'm sure you'll score, well. Fluminense, I don't think are up to too much. A couple of decent players, yeah. Ganso, obviously Silva, Hercules is decent.
Hercules, love to see a bit of Brazilians with cool names. We live for
I
it.
know.
River Plate got a lot of cool names in their team. We've got Armani in goals. We've got Mastantuono out wide, polishing himself up for a Real Madrid transfer in a tournament like this. Facundo Canidio, Sebastian Druise, Ignacio Fernandez, some big hitting players. Full strength defence, which River fans will be buzzing to see. And they take on Urawa, which, by the way, Urawa gets some send off. We spoke about that in a show recently as well. They're going to be right up for this. They're going to want to be flying the flag for Japan. Strong enough team, I think, for the most part. Experienced guys as well. And Urawa have done better in the continental competition than they have in the J League over the last this century. Anyway, I think they've won the Champions League 3 times, but they've won the J League twice or something weird like that. So they're going to be right up for this. And against River Plate, I don't think they'll be scared, but River should have the quality and the muscle to kind of beat them out on that. We've got Man City take on Wydad Casablanca of Morocco. No debut for Cherki from the start, but very likely to feature in this game. Very similar team that finished last season. Echeverry's firmly in the depth chart. Bob is back from injury, it appears. And Reinders, new signing, could be in the fray somewhere. But yeah, Man City looking good. Casablanca, I've got a few cards. Would you believe? I've got 3. So a few red X's turning blue X's for a month. Real Madrid are taking on Al Hilal. Real Madrid are going Arda Güler. Trent to start as well. Dean Howson to start. Fran Garcia at left back for the aforementioned Carreras not getting signed on. Valverde's going to play in 2 positions, which will be interesting to see how he pulls that one off. And they take on Al Hilal, who have got lots of cards. They've got Malcolm, they've got SMS, they've got Ruben Neves, they've got Koulibaly, Renan Lodi, Bono, João Cancelo, Mitrovic up front. That's actually quite a decent Saudi team. Lots of cards in there. And they'll see this is a cup final for them. Taking on Real Madrid, this is like trying to get some street cred for the Saudi league kind of match. And then we've got Al Ain, who are from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, I'm sure. They actually have some cards, so fun for them. And then Juventus under Tudor look pretty strong. Maybe quietly good in this tournament, but that's the Club World Cup stuff that we've got there, Harry boy.
How many Club World Cup teams were you able to put out?
So I was able to put out. So I'll show you what I've got just because the way time runs for the show today. But I've done the summer tournament arena thing with the Griezmann that I bought.
Yeah.
And I've got a Bayern stack in behind it. So I've got Jonathan Tah, I've got Goretzka, and I've got Captain Muller. But to make the cap work, I could have went with Oblak. The cap actually worked out none too bad because Muller and Griezmann have both got very low L15s.
Yeah.
But the choices I have are Oblak against PSG or Fry against Botafogo. And I just think Fry's maybe a little bit less likely to concede 3. That game could be like 2-1, 2-0 or something. Whereas PSG, I don't know, Atletico are always good in those types of games to just be anti-football or whatever. But, like PSG can score 3 against MD. Let's just call a spade a spade, So went with Fry over Oblak on that one. And then I did an in-season one with Oblak. Caicedo and Gross, 2 rewards in this season. Great fixtures for them. Victor Roque taking on Porto, Quatra, of course. That team, I paid 12 quid for Quatra, maybe 20, and I paid about 15 quid for Roque, and I won the 2 midfielders. So, if this wins anything, I'll be doing a victory lap.
100%. I mean, yeah, it's decent 5, solid.
Yeah, so that's what I managed to do for those Club World Cup guys.
Nice. Yeah, it's tough if you haven't got the keepers, isn't it? Really.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the keepers are the kind of bottleneck. I picked up the Fry for this, believe it or not, a month ago.
Wow.
Just because I've got that Seattle Classic collection going anyway, so I would have bought them at some point, and I was like, okay, well, I seen the amount of players I had, and I thought, well, a second keeper, even if it gets stuffed, at least I'll get them out and maybe snatch something. So cross my fingers and toes. I think we'll do U21s next. Harry boy, do you have any? Do you have any or many of these guys running around?
Not a ton, mate, honestly. No, I've got a few random ones, like Rocco Reeds, of course. I think he has a tripler or at least a doubler.
I think Germany has triple.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be dangerous. They've got some really good scorers there. Yeah, someone said in the chat earlier, like, could you do under 23 without a keeper? I just think there's too many keepers, and then there's too many with doubles, and then there's too many with triple. It's like, it's just tough. Yeah, you're just up against it massively. Yeah, I like the look of the Germany team. Ooh,
Ilinic, some wee goalkeeper, Turk. I wonder where he comes from. Club-wise, like, where does he get his cards? Turk. Sampdoria cards.
Wow.
So there's somebody who's after cheap under 23s. I don't know if £6 limiteds are what you're after. They are playing Germany. So
all the best.
Yeah, so they've probably got a triple game week as well. But I think their group is Germany, Spain.
Romania.
And Romania. So yeah, probably don't know if that's worth hunting down. We've got Spain, which is covered in my players, which is cool. Pablo Torre, who I bought for this competition, got off injured at halftime in the first match.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. I had him lined up actually in a lineup.
So did Gerard Martin, the left back from Barca. He went off injured.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. So Turientes, Moliero, Hugo Bueno, and Moro look to kind of change around for some of these guys. But yeah, strong squad. No goalkeeper with a card for Spain, sadly. This is Romania. They've got 2 cards. That's kind of fun.
I actually have that.
Yeah,
I have him. Yeah, he's got a double game week this week. He started against Italy. I actually don't know if we got the groups right or not, but I know Italy played Romania like yesterday or something. So
yeah, I've maybe got it wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't remember what the groups are, but I know he played against Italy. They lost 1-0, I believe. He still scored like 15 AA or something. So I think
Germany have Portugal and Spain have Italy.
I got it wrong way around. That makes sense. Yeah.
So Slovenia will have Portugal, not Spain. Beg your pardon. But that's cool. And his name is Rares. You have a rare of him?
I do have a rare, yeah. He's like level 20. He's got like 25 XP. Because like
I got Eli.
Yeah. Yeah, Rare Eli. He was playing in Serie B, I believe.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully he smashes for you, mate. That could be a fun one. Wee bit of collection action.
Definitely.
France under 21s, every player's carded as per usual. That's very French of them, you know. Like their under 21s are like, you know, they could be like the 20th best senior team in the world or something. You know, always.
It's definitely like lost a bit of quality though. Like the back four is really good, and obviously the keeper, but like the rest of them, like they're obviously good, but they're not like churky. Like when Elise was in there, like they had like a nuts team for like 2 years.
Ekatike and stuff.
Ekatike, Kakare, like they had a crazy team. Where now, I mean, like, yeah, Tel, Odebert, Lepanen's a decent little player, but he's gone off the boil a little bit. Like Diouf, they're okay, but they're not like vintage, you know?
Totally. Not next gen.
Nah.
This Abilene guy profiles really well. I covered him on a Celtic scouting video, and Nantes have been relegated. And I thought, oh, he could be a good guy for like 8 million. Marseille after him, and Nantes have said 50 million. So he's got a big price tag on his head. Expect big things from him in this tournament if he's going to justify that. They take on Georgia. They've got 2 cards. Good luck to them against France. We've got Portugal under 21s against the Poles. I bought this goalkeeper for the tournament, Sam Suarez, the backup of Benfica. And Paulo Bernardo apparently is on all set pieces. He stunk the place out in the first game, but double game week this time.
Nice. I saw he was captain as well.
I believe.
Captain. Yeah. Mateus Fernandez, I think, scored pretty. I don't know if he scored well, but I seen like a write up on him on Twitter saying like he did this. He had like 9 shots or whatever. So he must have played pretty well. I actually watched like 10 minutes of this game on a stream yesterday randomly. Yeah, I've got that Flavio Nazinho, the guy at the left back. He didn't start the last game. But he came off the bench, got like 21 AA. So, yeah, I think he's in line. Quender's obviously a player. Thomas has been around for a while, hasn't he? And Roger Fernandez, I don't think he has cards, but he's at Braga, maybe, I think.
Yeah. Rings a bell. But yeah, again, similar to France, Portugal have normally had some thrasher teams at this level. It's not quite like as sharp as it used to be, is it?
No, definitely not.
Quendas and Bernardos and such. And I like Big Bernardo, but if he's your captain, like it's not a vintage generation, is it? England under 21s taking on Slovenia. If you've got Elliot Anderson, Harvey Elliott, Tina Livramento, they could all score pretty wild. Double and triple game weeks. James McAtee as well. I'm not too sure about the rest of these, but they probably don't have cards. And then they take on Slovenia. Ilinic, double game week for them. that Turk guy we mentioned, the cheap goalkeeper. Probably not good having England after having Germany, actually. So tough for them. This goes into the double and the triple game weeks quite nicely. I don't think much of the intel is that relevant, but because you'll need to see if anyone gets injured, when people are rotated and stuff. The only team we've not seen is the Czech Republic, so I'll just put them on screen in case they've got any cards. There's a guy that's expected to play. We'll fire through the Gold Cup, so there's a few here, and there's not many cards. Harry's kind of got to attend to Trades Junior. But Mexico are taking on Dominican Republic, and we had a question in the chat. Guys, let me know what you think about this. Play Trubin with one game or play Javier Valdez, the Dominican Republic goalkeeper, who's playing Mexico, and I don't know who their second game is, Costa Rica. Ooh, I would take Trubin. Benfica were playing Fluminense or something, weren't they? Or something like that, Flamengo. Boca Juniors. Oh, yeah, I'd be taking Trubin against Boca Juniors all day, every day. So this is the Mexico team. If you need to see it. Dominican Republic. Peter Gonzalez is in the building. Another one of Harry's boys, Pablo Rosario in midfield. And then we mentioned Javier Valdez. You playing Rosario, Harry?
I'm not, but I do have 3 Valdezes.
Wow. Where did he get cards from?
He's from Nashville. Well, he had Houston cards. Now he's got Nashville cards.
Nice.
He played midweek and kept a clean sheet, but he didn't play the first. There was a game, the game week before that, and the 42-year-old goalkeeper whose captain played. So, but they lost like 4-2, and he got an error. So I don't know whether it was known that they were going to do one each. So yeah, I'm a bit like, I don't know if this Valdez is like nailed. Because the captain of the team is actually the goalie, but he's like literally 42. So
yeah,
I don't know. I really don't know. I hope he plays, obviously, but yeah, I would play Trubin all day.
Wow, Peter did 100 last week.
He did, yeah. Literally, no, this midweek. Yeah.
Peter, what a guy!
I know. They smashed somebody like 4-0 or something.
I just realised I had the My Matches tab on, right? So I'll have a wee quick scan back to the Club World Cup, see if there's anything valuable that I didn't see there. Flamengo against the Tunisian team. There's some Flamengo cards. There you go. And then we'll go back to the under-21s because I've missed out Holland and something else. Ulsan against Mamelodi Sundowns. There's the Ulsan team. Sundowns have got a card. Lucas Ribeiro. He looks like a guy you would have, Harry. A Charleroi card.
Ribeiro.
Monterrey Inter. Monterrey Canales will play. Sergio Ramos will play. Inter team is on screen there. Peter Sucic making his debut from Zagreb.
Nice.
Or not, maybe. Is that his debut, actually? When did they sign him?
Be.
Pachuca Salzburg is the last one we missed. Pachuca's team is on screen. Idrisi and Palavicino and Charlie Dunbar's favourite Kennedy. And a trident there in support of Rondon. And then Salzburg, who Kratzik in at left back. Wow, that could be cheat code.
That could be fun.
Maybe not in this game or this tournament, but next, when the Bundesliga comes back for them. And they've got, who's this guy? Kawamura. That's a new name on me. Strong kind of team from them. Liner as well. Didn't see that move. So that's fun. And then we'll go back to the under-21, sorry, and we'll show the people we missed. But yeah, so you're playing the Valdezes and the Rosarios, Harry? Or what? Sorry, I kind of got distracted by my mistake there.
There you go.
Denmark team looks good. Lots of cards there. I was reading about this guy, Profsgaard, by the way. He won like a big FIFA tournament, like got 70,000 euros, and then he retired from FIFA, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're fucking mental" and all that. And now he's in the Danish team. Like
that's mental.
So, but he was like a FIFA prodigy. Profsgaard.
Sorensen from the midgets. That Bischoff kid's good. Clement Bischoff.
Yeah,
it's really good.
That's a good pair, isn't it? Like Youngdal, some good utility. Youngdal can't be expensive, can he? Cheap under 23 keepers.
Yeah, I think he's gone up a little bit since obviously getting the call up here.
Tenner for unlimited. Oh, Rare's punchy, man. 60.
Yeah,
that's punchy.
People are just,
in season,
I think he's got.
Doesn't need. Oh,
right. Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah, it doesn't really change it.
I don't think he has many. He might. I don't know how many rare classics he has.
Well, here's another England team. Oh, this will be the first England game. The one Neri. Wow, look at this.
Jesus Christ.
Archie Gray. Tons of options.
At least they don't have a keeper. Like, at least Trafford's not there.
And then here's the Netherlands team. I get told to double check for Noah Ohio on to start. It feels like he's been under 21 his entire life. Well, I suppose he probably has been to this point.
I've lined him up in my best team.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, triple game week. So
the Dutch team is good, by the way. Back four's brilliant. Robin Roofs, we know, can do it. Midfield, I'm kind of jury's out on, but Manhoff, we know, is a player. Ohio's got pedigree. Chelsea, the goalkeeper fraternity going strong here with Lucas Bergstrom.
He's being released as well. He is from Chelsea.
Oh,
yeah, he's on the release list.
Get too many goalkeepers.
Yep, sure.
Can't afford to pay them all. And we've got an Italy team here we didn't see before, so we'll put Italy on. Not bad for an Italy youth team. Nonto and Dua are fun players. Fabian
shows good. Burnley lad.
Yeah, he gets a good rep. I've not seen too much of him. And no goalkeeper.
I'm surprised one of the Espositos hasn't gone in.
Yeah, but have they all maybe aged out?
119.
Oh, okay.
I think. One's pretty young, so I don't know.
We've got America, Trinidad, so we'll go back to Gold Cup here. Diego Luna, Jack McGlynn, Brian White. That's a Streets Won't Forget front three, man.
That's a Harry Trades front three. I've got all three in Super right now.
2 mids and a forward, love that.
Yeah, and I've even got Arvston as well, but he's a forward, so I can't really play all four. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just a bit scared. I don't know. I hope they all start. I've got McGlynn and Luna in my rare team, but I haven't. I don't know why. I'm just a bit scared on Luna in my super rare, so I've just mixed it up a bit and just played McGlynn. They could, but definitely both play. But yeah.
And they take on TNT, as the Americans call them, but we all call them Trinidad and Tobago. But if you ever hear them talk about TNT, that's they're talking about these guys. And again, lots of cards. I'm used to seeing Mikel Antonios and guys like that here, but there's not as many of them. Kevin Molino is a bit of a match winner, and the rest of the guys are. I don't really know too much about them, but this
Seeley's
is like
really good.
Oh, is
Dante Seeley? Yeah, he plays for Montreal this year. He's really good. For 2 days, just like a CDM. Spice is rapid. He's a good winger for Toronto. And Molino's been around for fucking yonks, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's playing in like Trinidad's like second. Like he's playing in some mad league right now.
Having his best life, just get the slippers on every week. Fair enough. So this is a moderate, it's USA Mexico's the rivalry, but when I was growing up, the World Cup spots, Mexico always got them, and it would be between America and Trinidad for fighting for spots. So there's a wee bit of needle there historically. I know Pochettino probably doesn't know anything about that, but there you go. Saudi Arabia are in the Gold Cup by special invite or special inclusion or whatever, expanding borders and all that caper. They take on Haiti or however you call it. They've got a bunch of cards. I have Duckin's Nazon, I recognise. I genuinely have never seen any of these. I've never seen any of these other guys before.
This Jean Jacques guy, he plays for Philly this year. Like he's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Danley. I don't know many. Yeah. The goalkeeper played for French D2 team.
Cool.
Or did definitely. But yeah, other than that, I'm not too caught up on the other lads.
Antonio has played for Jamaica, 1000%. He's got caps and goals. You can check it out.
No, I think he meant because you mentioned Antonio as Trinidad. He was like, "Isn't he?"
Oh, did I say Trinidad? Oh,
yeah.
I'm an idiot. That was my bad. Yeah. Sorry. Even when I read that there, I thought he is Jamaican. We've not got to MLS yet, Jack. Thanks for asking, just to make sure I put that out there. This is a Saudi team. They've got one card who plays for Beershot, or did play for Beershot. We've got Costa Rica taking on Suriname. I've got 2 players in here, full team carded. That's quite fun. Ugalde up front, that can be powerful. Calvo in defence can be all right. Oh, one guy's missing. Myri at left back, right back. Suriname, again, lots of cards. Lots of Eredivisie players. Kirk we all know. Kenny Pal we know. Haps we know. Oh, Vassen.
Yeah, wow.
The budget keeper of death in a good way. That's not bad.
It's decent, yeah.
Panama Guadalupe. Panama team. We've got defenders for Godoy, Carlos Harvey, Andres Andrade. Always rips AA. He loves AA. He's addicted to AA. And his name is Andres Andrade, So
that is true. He was born to rip AA, wasn't he?
Yeah, but we don't make these things up, guys. It's all based on fact. Roussillon is in this team. It's a throwback.
Wow, yeah. Was he left back in Germany, yeah?
Wolfsburg, yeah.
Yeah.
For
Wow.
Guadeloupe. That's fun.
Interesting.
Here's Jamaica. No Mikel Antonio, but they do have Leon Bailey, Isaac Hayden, Damari Gray, Andre Blake, and some other guys I don't know.
Johnny Russell's playing for him.
Where? Oh. You totally got me there. I was like, oh. I thought it was like a predictor-fi glitch. But no, I'm absolutely done there. Guatemala team, they've got 3 cards. Aaron Herrera is one of them. So yeah, Jamaica could be all right. Curacao, El Salvador. Curacao, they've got a bunch of Eredivisie players. Eloy Room, Leandro Bacuna, formerly of Aston Villa, and a few guys I've never heard of.
They got Bacuna brothers. The other one's in the 10.
Yeah, Juninho.
Yeah.
El Salvador, no cards. Romero, 20% on, although he's not travelled with the squad, so love that. Canada, Honduras. Canada are a good outfit at the moment in this region. They could do really well. I've got a few cards, so I'm biased, but the whole team is quality.
That could be good. I didn't realise, Waterman's playing, is he? That'd be nice.
Yeah. Strong defence. Really good upper level MLS overall. I really like Eustachio and Coney in midfield. We know Tejon Buchanan's quality. And the strikers are scoring goals if the ball goes in the box.
Big time.
Honduras, not bad team either. They do have Luis Palma, which is a bit of a handicap, but Big Kyoto, Lozano, some of these guys are no bad themselves.
Yeah, solid.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, that's a second game, isn't it? So we'll just put them on in case there's any meaningful difference. And Suriname, Mexico, again, we'll just put on in case there's any meaningful difference. There's nothing on the champion, obviously we know that. Challenger, double check, has nothing in it. There's a wee tiny bit of contender. It looks like there's a lot more here than what there is.
Yeah.
We'll dive into MLS real quickly. Well, we look at Brazil. We'll have a wee click across them in case any of you need to see this, but keep your eyes peeled if you're after any contender-based stuff. We'll just kind of rattle through this, and then we'll get to the deadline going MLS. And Harry, the co-pilot, will get us through that one. But yeah, eyes on screen. Feel free to pause when you need. And we'll get through these guys quite quickly. Because I actually didn't realise Contender was playing until maybe a few hours ago. And I was like, I better build some teams. I've got some keepers. So maybe some of you guys are doing the same. So all the teams have been on screen there for Brazil. China, I'm not going to do China. J, we'll do J. Because J's a full league that we like. So eyes on screen for that. And it's weird seeing some of these teams still playing despite the Club World Cup being on, because you just assume because it's a FIFA thing, like everyone else should be shut down, but not the case. So everyone's got games to make up for when they come back from these different leagues and stuff. So there'll be some more double game weeks and all that good stuff to come. If it is good stuff, depends on your point of view for those teams, players and cards. How do you feel about that fixture pile-up angle, Harry, when it comes around for any of your players?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to navigate, isn't it? But I don't think, summer and stuff, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, there's like a lot going on right now without a lot going on league-wise, isn't there? There's just so many things, internationals overlapping with World Cups, overlapping with club. Like, it's just a messed up time right now, to be honest.
I think it always puts a lot of extra pressure on having the team stack, because they then become an island.
Yeah.
They kind of break away from the match day cycle to get that game back somewhere. And it's like if you've just got like a captain capable guy that's in a team, and then I've got this great player and no team around him kind of thing or whatever. So
it's the worst.
Always kind of sobers you up to that kind of, I've not actually got a stack around him. Or the goalkeeper's got a team to run with or whatever it might be. We're into Korea now again, so eyes peeled and feel free to pause if you need to. We're just going to fire through these in the interest of time because we are hurtling towards the game week deadline. We've got 19 minutes to go. Should be plenty of time for the MLS action, but we just want to make sure we get these guys done and dusted for you as well. Because I know there'll be lots of
there's double game weeks in K League, I believe.
Yeah, I've got double game week down for one or two of my guys.
Yeah.
Which again, for these leagues, that's actually quite good, because I know there's the whole, it's losing a game of utility in theory because it's 2 games in 1 game week rather than 2 games in 2 game weeks. But you know, some of these teams like sub guys off for under 23 rules in their domestic competition, or they do have 2 fixtures in close proximity. If you do get the double game week angle, some of those guys are like, I don't know if I can take the risk with him. You can actually just play them, and just then you're crossing your fingers that they actually play some good football, which is the secret to Sorare is knowing who plays good football.
Right.
So yeah, and I think we're in a double game week situation here now. Yeah, we are. So we'll just dive into the next one. Liga Hypermotion, we've got one game. It's a playoff. So just fire them on screen in case any of you have got guys in there. Liga Pro, Chile, Peru, Serie B. Yeah, that'll be us for contender. Awesome. And then we'll flip into MLS. And right before we do, we'll have a 1 minute word here from our show and channel sponsors, MFL. The season 6 just kicked off on Wednesday, by the way, as well, last night, which was great crack. But yeah, here we go. MFL Meta Football League is a football management game that takes this genre to the next level. This is an open network online experience where every club, every opponent you play against is managed and operated by another player, by another person. It's your tactics, it's your wit, it's your squad against your opponents. MFL seasons normally run for around 6 weeks, so this isn't a game that comes out every new football season that you need to go and buy a new copy of. So there's never a bad time to open your account and get your club up and running. The only thing you need to buy or to pay for to get up and running to play MFL is your club. You can buy a club pack from MFL directly and it will randomly generate where your club is located, what city and in what country. One of the ways MFL takes this game to the next level is every player you own, you are actually their agent. So any players that you own that you're not going to use in your own squad, you can list on the market for loan, where they can go into another squad, and in return you'll get a percentage, you'll get a cut of any of the prize money that those players help those clubs to win. Sign up by using the link that's in the description of this video or in the pinned comment. You'll directly support me and all the content here at the channel, but by doing so you guarantee yourself the best sign up bonuses available. Thanks again to MFL for supporting the content and back in the channel, back in the show. We really appreciate it, and it's been tons of fun. And season 6 is kicked off with an absolute scream. Thanks again to everyone that tuned into the live show last night. But yeah, MLS, Harry boy, you've started to be my boys, New York.
Yeah, they play tonight. They're the first game of the game week. Obviously, Romero in goal. Other than that, they haven't really lost too much outside of Ilinic, and obviously the striker Martinez. So yeah, it is definitely depleted versus an Atlanta team that, to be fair, isn't really at all, actually, apart from Fortuna that's playing for, I think it was Haiti or whoever it was, or Trinidad it might have been, actually. So yeah, pretty full strength for them. They'll look to try and get a decent result there. This LA game isn't happening, so that's just, yeah, they might have just had to put it in there for whatever reason. So yeah, they're definitely not playing. And then yeah, Portland at home to the Earthquakes again. Obviously, you've got Krapau probably, or definitely not playing. Other than that, they're missing what's the old lad, Chara.
Yeah,
Chara maybe in there, but other than that, again, pretty full strength against San Jose. Daniel's back, interesting. Espinoza, nice. Martinez, Hernan Lopez, nice little trident there. This Bo Lacroix guy is really good. Young kid. Keep an eye on him. He's good. Obviously, Ian Harks.
Love that.
Big Dave Romney, Rodriguez could do pretty well there, maybe. St. Louis Galaxy. Obviously, Painter, Peck. Royce is back fit, which is interesting. Yeah, obviously Mikovic has been in goal recently, so I'd like to think he continues, but you just never know.
Yeah,
you never know. St. Louis at home to them, obviously, just very underwhelming right now. But obviously lost their manager and stuff, so maybe there's a little bounce somewhere. Kessler looks to be back in the fold.
Whoop, whoop.
Good for you, Klaus. Oh, no two shirts, or however you oh, maybe he plays actually. Maybe. The Crew missing Arvston, missing a centre half, obviously missing the keeper. Yeah, they're a little bit depleted, but still a good front three. Nagby still there, obviously Shambo. Yeah, they're not in a terrible way. Where Vancouver, did you see they had like 1 million people ill after the Mexican game?
Yeah, I'm surprised the game went ahead. Everyone was fearful it was going to get chopped off, so I shelved all my guys for it. So a bit of a surprise that actually kicked on. But aye, Vancouver, man, they've got this weird where they're being really successful. They're now, it's kind of against the odds, but because they've not got gold, yeah. And then someone else is injured, and all the fixtures are piling up, and then internationals, and then like you say, everyone gets sick, and They're still just flying high somehow. So good on them, but watch out for the steam running out maybe.
It looks like they're only really losing. Obviously, Gold's not there, but Berhalter mainly, and obviously the striker Brian White.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, they've not played Pedro Vite in the front line for a while. It is like the whole front line is gone.
Yeah, he's been playing midfield, hasn't he? This will be interesting. Cincy, New England. New England obviously at home, not really missing anyone. In fairness, Cincy.
Yeah.
Against obviously the Gill boys.
Who was it from Europe that was linked to Evander this week?
I thought it was a Brazil.
Something.
Gala maybe or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
Gala,
Porto, something like that. You're probably right. I remember.
I can't remember exactly, but yeah, Philly, Charlotte, interesting one. Charlotte away. Kalina probably gets back in, but who knows? Austin at home to the Red Bulls. Austin not really losing too many, if any, versus the Bulls, who again don't really lose a ton either. Forsberg in, obviously Chupo in. Cameron Harper's been on fire recently.
Full strength team there.
Yeah, full strength. For them, Nashville away to Chicago. Again, pretty full strength. Versus the Zinks and the Gutierrez's. Well, Tom Barlow over Cyprus. That's interesting.
Maybe it's a knock or something. Or maybe just needs to rotate. See, I think all the good players have played every game, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Tough to call that one.
Yeah.
Houston without Jack McGlynn, of course, taking on the Impact, who again are missing their captain Waterman. They're missing Dante Seeley, so they're missing a couple for sure. Tough to gauge that one.
George Campbell, one-man defense against Houston. They can't score. That could be all right.
Jalen Neal and George Campbell holding down the fort. This is fun. San Diego, Dreyer.
Yeah. Missing some firepower.
Yeah, obviously Lozano gone, right? Someone said McNair not injured with national team. Dreyer returning time to start the match. Lozano. Oh, maybe Lozano got injured, did he? Big win. Okay. Yeah, definitely depleted against Minnesota, who are missing. Well, they're missing. What's his name? The Canadian striker. Can't think of his name right now, but they'd be missing him. And the keeper, Dane Sinclair's gone.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. Oh, and Rosales, the left back. And then Sporting Kansas City, Joveljic leading the line with Shaloi.
2-6 Harry.
Norris, Shappy in there as well. Manu Garcia, they look pretty full strength. Pulskamp in goal versus the Dallas boys. Lucho Musa, Anderson Julio, Pedrinho, Martin Pice back from international duty. And then the Rapids versus Orlando. Galice's back. Full strength for them versus the Rapids. Hansen still in goal with, what's his name? I can't think of his name. The ex-City guy.
Zach Steffen.
Zach Steffen. I think he's still injured. Yeah, knee 3 to 5 weeks. Not ideal.
Patrick Hero in the last game. Oh, yeah.
Wow, did
he? 7-1, didn't they?
Battered someone, didn't they?
He scored a peach. Barlow, actually. I've totally forgot about it.
Did he?
Aye.
Oh, Lozano got injured with Mexico. That's not fun.
Or a surprise.
And then, yeah, Salt Lake to finish. Obviously, Luna Lus, which means Pablo Ruiz gets in. And Diogo Goncalves. This guy's a good player. Xavier Gozo. He's really good.
You've never a good player with a name like that.
I know. It's a great name, to be fair. Carantas, Vera. Yeah, pretty full strength versus DC, who are obviously Benteke Lus still. But Pirani, I don't know what's wrong with Peglo, but he normally starts. He's a good player. Yeah.
Barraza season rumbles on.
Barraza season does rumble on. And what are we? 8 minutes to the deadline.
Love that. Anything else? I thought MLS might have been the last thing, but I think that's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, mate, to be fair. I was just going to double check my lineups.
That shows what you've got.
Yeah, let's have a look. I've got a lot of MLS, obviously. I've got 3 World Cup teams or Club World Cup teams. I did have a little promotion in D2 Rare midweek, thanks to Valdez.
Oh,
I had to get
that
Alvarez.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that card. I remember him now.
I've got like his rookie, and then I've got another one who just won a box. But yeah, three Club World Cup teams. This being the main one, just Bayern boys, and then a bit of Otamendi and Costa. See what happens with the rest of them.
That's quite fun. You need a Bayern stack this week, don't you?
Probably, yeah. You need some sort of. I've got Upamecano as well, but I don't think he'll start. And Goretzka, actually. This is my main MLS team. I've only got one D1, so all out for that one.
Nice.
The rest are they're all decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then a couple of classics, couple of limiteds. I've got one under 23 team. Obviously, Nazawa's going to Antwerp, isn't he? So I'm basically
good.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, I'm basically playing this Kim guy who's got a double game week over Luna, effectively.
Safety, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah, but he is.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm just a bit scared. I don't know why. Like, he could easily just blank Luna. And
I think McGlynn and Housen are quite safe to rip. So you don't want a DNP to like pull the floor out from under you.
Ruin it. Like, yeah, exactly. I could have gone. Alston is down to start for the US, but he'll be playing like left wing back, and I'm probably better off just going Yorbe and I really against Pachuca.
I think so too. I think Salzburg will fancy Pachuca.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, I guess. And then I've got 2 D1s now. This is going to go up to D1, so I am risking a Luna, and I'm just going to throw Cherky in there because why not?
Yeah. I can dig it.
Valdez doesn't have 3 games. They're counting the Nashville game, which, obviously not going to be there. This is the main team, though, on paper.
Love that.
So 3 games, 2 games for Matsima. And then obviously, Trubin and Vinny for a bit of single game firepower. Romero gets a run out in D2. And then just a couple of all-star teams then, just in case Valdez does play. And then somehow, Brazil are just doing their thing. So... I wish we had normal arena. It would have been nice if we had normal arena for this weekend, but we don't. So, goes into All-Star.
The arena chat's interesting because I've not really did much arena other than that late swap, but that late entry one because I had some DNPs coming to big teams and I just scrapped some teams and put it in there. And I'm looking forward to seeing this 20-man arena thing with the Griezmann, obviously, but I've not really had much experience beyond that. These are my MLS teams. I've just kind of, with the Romero in season coming in, I've got 2 teams that can streak now at Rare. So that's the first time I've had that this season. So I've not got much classic strength that I'm sidelining for that. So it's not too convoluted, but a few classic keepers. I got that Romero in just for the backup guys in case some of them pop or whatever. I still managed to get 6 MLS teams out despite losing international goalkeepers. No Seattle, which is a lot of my cards now. And NYC try to get all the starting lineups. I've got 2 contender teams, Harry. I've got I've got no D1 in seasons, right? And I know we're still waiting on like what is happening within seasons for next year. But my strategy became when I realized I finished the Celtic season with no D1s was I need to get 3 D1s by the time Celtic come back. Was something I had in my head. That might be pointless now, but
probably not. I mean,
but I've put this classic one in D2 rather than D1 to try and get it promoted. Is it D1 capable? Probably not, but it's a lot of fun to look at. Falcao, Rui Diaz, Arturo Vidal, and guys like that going into a wee classic team. So I don't know how well it'll do, but I'm throwing them into D2s, hoping for the best. And I've got 223 teams, Harry, with the Euro guys playing, and I'm swinging for the fences with both of them, a D1 and a D2. The striker probably plays one of the games like we were chatting about before. But do you know what I might do? I might drop the second Paulo Bernardo for a Gabri Vega. I think I might do that. Just for the bants.
Love it. Mate, when Bellamar was selling all his uniques a few days ago, and he had a Diego Lopez unique up for 120 quid, and I was so close to buying it, and someone fucking bought it.
Wow.
Fuming.
What season?
Yeah. Like new season. Obviously, he's out of not in season now, but yeah, that like Mosquera season.
Yeah. I might put Bernardo back in. Double game week for him.
And we go and get. I'm just gonna get Trades Junior a minute and bring him in.
Yeah, sure. See what his teams are. But yeah, with Pablo Torre injured and something else, I feel that the Spain team kind of works itself out. Tani and Suarez are two great keeper choices. The Valencia collection, like Harry was mentioning, there's all over this. Double Bernardo with the Celtic collection. And Moliero, who's now confirmed his transfer to Villarreal. It's all but confirmed now at this point. It is not a rumour anymore. It is news. So that's quite fun. And then I've got two All-Star teams. Matt Freeze, unlikely to play, but it is an international match against Trinidad. Matt Turner apparently was pretty minging in the last game from the report I heard. So just put him in there just in case with some other guys for just in case. But Keylor Navas will play. Alistair Johnson and Tellez is two wicked fullbacks. Limer, if he does play, will be a really good midfield option. And then Joe David up front for Canada against Honduras. So I've got an all-star team that's good, one that probably has a DNP keeper. And every time I look at that Limer, I think, oh, who do I have again? But I can't get him. Do I go for Limer over Goretzka? That's kind of the question, really, isn't it?
Was Limer on to play?
Yeah.
Ooh,
right back.
Maybe.
Doing all right at right back.
Yeah, doesn't he? I mean, they're playing against somebody that like anyone could get DAs, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
I ultimately thought maybe Goretzka at 70% is just safer than Limer at 50. But yeah, I went with Goretzka over Limer. But yes, 14 teams all in.
That's
across
nice.
them all. 2 streaks at rare, hopefully for MLS. A limited streak as well, in case these random guys do all right. Bit of all-star fun. U23 is where the glory's at, but Moliero, double game week. Diego Lopez, double game week. Same with PB, Paulo Bernardo. And then Captain Josko against Wydad in defence.
The Bosco. Yeah. Love that.
And then this all-star team's quite fun as well. So I'm quite excited. We're 1 minute to the deadline.
When will thingy kick in, Quinny? The 4-1 for the streaks in MLS, do you think?
They said it's the 25th of July. So 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, 6 weeks from now. Something like that.
League's done by that point. Really?
I'm just wondering, because this new game week sits here, obviously, I'm just wondering what's actually in it. Does it show me the same team that I've already selected? Or what goes on here? I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, we're rocking and we're rolling.
We're in. Someone asked you about Lennon Miller earlier, actually, in the chat. I don't know whether you saw it.
No chance he goes to Celtic from what I feel and from what I've been told.
Yeah.
I'd say Sorare-wise, the teams I've been told about like 6 teams that are actually in touch with him, and there's some really good Sorare options. One of them is Strasbourg, obviously losing Andre Silva to Chelsea, so you could just slot into that. Is he the same level as Andre Santos? Probably not, but if he's getting that job, he'll probably score all right, you know. USG as well could be really good SO5-wise, not too big of a step up from Scotland. Good style of football for them. And Frankfurt, who missed out on Job Bellingham.
Ooh.
And they've got a 2 midfield kind of shape. If you think about when we look at Frankfurt, it's always that kind of 3-4-3 kind of shape.
They have that Hugo Larson normally in there, didn't they, with someone else?
Yeah, Skriri and somebody else.
Yeah.
There's a few guys. So that's quite a 8. For a guy that is good with 8-8, it could be a good spot as well. And
he just wants to play, didn't he? And I don't think he'd play at Celtic, obviously, with McGregor. So
yeah. I think I've seen this to a Celtic friend as well. Like, but if we were in like the Ronnie Dyla era of Celtic and we sold Matt O'Reilly for 30 million, the club would have definitely just bought Lennon Miller to replace him for like 2 million and just been cheap for it, you know, and the fans would have been raging. He might actually turn out to be worth it. But this time we're like, no, we've got money and stuff like that. And Brendan Rodgers is here, so we buy Engels and then nobody's happy with him, you know. But if we went back to type, you know, just what they normally do, they'd have bought Lennon Miller, you know, it's what we normally do. Which is why the John McGinn thing is such a controversial thing, because it's just like we normally do that stuff, and the one time you don't do it, it's like a guy that would have leveled up, you know, sort of thing. So yeah, I don't see it happening. I think it would need to be Hatate or Engels leave rather than a McGregor thing. So I think if you look at all those teams, like he could walk into the starting 11 without much question as long as he's good enough. But Celtic, if he is good enough, it's hard to imagine he kicks Engels onto the bench or Hatate, you know.
100%.
So. Yeah,
mate, we won't have another game week now for another 7 days. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like, there's no midweek technically. Obviously, we're having it in this game week that just kicked in. So the 19th is the next.
Yeah, this is a big one. It's a full 7-day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to see what it looked like on this because it did say that the deadline. Oh, is it maybe just? Is it? Do we have the pencils? Yeah, we've got the pencils on. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought this game week was going to close, and I thought this timer here was going to be like whatever Saturday 6 o'clock is. That's what they said. The pencils, where the pencils disappear at Saturday at 6. But I thought this would have been like a 36-hour timer, and it'd have been a little bit different. But I was just being stupid, obviously. But yeah, you say we won't have another deadline to hit for a full week.
Yeah, mad.
Sunderland's rumour for Miller. Yeah, in the Premier League that might work for him, but I think you know Sunderland. It's not a great move, is it? And Charlie,
not really. I don't think he would just jump up to the Prem and start playing first team football straight away, would he? I don't know. Maybe he would. He's probably good enough, but
I don't know about that. Vinny one. And what's going on with NYC playing percentages? I think the team that we had there is the team I would go with. Johnny Shore played under 19s for America in Spain. He scored, by the way. Johnny Shore could start scoring goals. He's like been a defensive midfielder that's, especially for New York at home, he's getting allowed to press the defense. So he's like in the box and stuff like that. He's like really high. So he scored for America away to Spain in some sort of UEFA We're Best Friends tournament or some crap. So I don't think the NYC game is Friday as well. So I don't think he'll be back for it. Aidan O'Neill played for Australia against Japan. I don't think he'll make it back in time either. So on and so forth. So the percentages might be a wee bit wacky, but the team that we had on screen is the one that I expect to play.
Yeah.
And I'm not the Predictify guy or anything. I'm just double confirming what you've seen more than anything. But yeah, it's been a wild week. Sorry, man, you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did you see they took down the blog, didn't they, or something for the Super Rare thing?
Oh, did they?
Apparently, yeah.
Well, if it's taken down, it means it's went right back to the drawing board, hasn't it? They don't want any footprint of it.
Sounds like it. Mate, what's going on? I think
we all said it. Like, who have they spoke to make them think that that's the move? Like,
I genuinely think they spoke to all people on that one, if I'm being honest. I just don't see how you would have spoke to somebody and they would have given you that, like, answer. I just don't see it. Like, especially if they play up there, you know? Mm-hmm. I just cannot understand for the life of me where they've got that from.
Like, I listened to you, Nep, and Laird's, like, well, you were with Andy, so I've advice on it, you know, but I listened to all your videos on it after I did mine, just catching up with other people. And I think everyone was in the same kind of, like, what feedback would you have had to say that makes them connect the dots to get there is the part that is the most kind of baffling. I think they've done a good job of being on, you know, the glass half full side of things. Mm-hmm. And I think when I done it, I think you were the same as well. When you actually do go through it, most of it's quite okay. You know what I mean? But that all gets lost in the soup dead easy and dead quick.
Overshadowed, isn't it? Big time.
You know, because there's no visuals for the card reveal thing. That could be like quality. That card
could be fun for content. Yeah.
But there's no pictures. There's no thing, mate.
Right.
There's still all those, all those parts that are ambiguous, like in-season versions of what's coming back. Obviously, they're waiting on stuff happening, and the prize pools are just all obviously in the dark still. So that's what I was going to say. Anyway, it's been a mad week.
Yeah, it's been, mate, mental.
Before you kind of brought up that the Super Rare blog is gone.
But apparently it's back. So.
Oh, is it back? They've maybe just changed a wee bit of word on it or something, maybe, so that Frankie's lawyers don't get them.
Well, they did. So initially, when me and Led read it through the whole thing, they didn't say the word contender or challenger anywhere, and they've added it. Yeah, so they've definitely made a few adjustments.
Yeah, because I messaged him when I was doing mine. I had met Dan in the chat and my messenger, and I was like, Dan, what about this? And Dan, what about that? And he gave me some answers. So I think they've maybe like taken the feedback across, and that's always the thing with the leak as well, right? Because with the leaks, the conspiracy theory behind it is people think, oh, they're doing that to test the water. They're doing that to feel us out. And like none of the stuff that people were upset about from the announcement. You know. Because I remember reading it going, that's not a bad announcement. You know, a wee bit of SO7, a wee bit all Like I've been calling All Star All Region in my head when I'm going through this because that's just kind of what they've done. You know, it's just every region in there. It's just Royal Rumble, kind of vibes. But yeah, it's weird how the league was so. Was it even that different, or did people not see that stuff at the time? Was it?
No,
I don't know.
you couldn't click the
Super
link
link,
for
of
unique.
course.
Yeah, that weren't working, so you couldn't see that. And then
Lack of
no, there
mention
was
of contender and stuff.
yeah, there was obviously no mention of that, but I don't know. I just the issue is like classic is a burden to them. It doesn't make them any money, so it's like it's so hard really for the balance to be struck. With where how many places can we play them and what's the prize? It like all that sort of stuff. It is really tough because it's a net loss for them regardless. They're not they're just giving out cards basically for us. I know we've paid for the cards previously, but if we're talking about their new model with how the in-season and stuff goes, it's just it is tough. Like I'm not like sympathizing with them too much. I'm just saying that like it's just very hard to get the balance right. But do I think they've got it right? I mean, it seems like you've got way less places to play your cards. I know they're going to throw the arena one in there, but obviously that costs. We don't know how much it's going to cost to play, but it does probably cost regardless, doesn't it? It's either one essence or more. It's not going to be less. There might be a few free ones, maybe, but I'm skeptical on that. I don't know. I just think like just All Star, just U23, and then just Champ. Like I get why Champ's still there, but man, everything in All Star just feels like a clusterfuck. And I know it brings us back to using Van Izek to win due type of thing, but like that just goes back to what they didn't want a year ago. That's why I'm a bit like we're just flip flopping now. We're literally back to Van Izek winning Jude.
Yeah.
As like the main source of classic, effectively. And it's just I don't know. That wasn't their thing, and now it's their thing again, apparently. So I don't know.
I think my main problem with the whole arena thing is like there's a lack of like option on strategy. But we've all played or most people who have here anyway have played the game through a few iterations. But like normally you open up the game week arena and it's like, right, where is my best chance to strike?
Right.
Am I going to go 270? Am I going to go region? Am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? That's gone in that structure. That was my kind of primary feedback on that element of it. Is like,
you've got where they go now.
You've got arena for unlimited entries to your heart's content for however much essence you've got. Fine, whatever. But there's no like, oh, if I play my guys here, I've got an edge now, or I've got, that's just gone. For all intents and purposes, it's just like you just play your cards wherever's open. There's no like, oh, I'll play under 23 this game week, or oh, I'll play the special this week, or I'm sure there'll still be specials going around and whatever, but I just feel like there's no alternate route,
Right.
There's no like, oh, while I'm getting started, even I'll play the easy mode, like 240 or 220 with the cheap cards, and then or anything, it's just play here, end of story. No decisions to be made. Decision making, that's gone.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. I mean, like the SO7 stuff is fine, but like, you know what I'm like with the DMP thing. It makes it way harder now. Like it's not as if it makes it any easier. It obviously makes it harder. So, if they would have said, okay, take 6 scores and one of them's a sub score, basically, like the lowest score doesn't get counted in the 7, then it's like, okay, that gives us a chance a little bit, although you're increasing, like you're increasing the amount of cards we need, but at the same time, at least we're not being like, we're not doubling the chances of DMP, or not, increasing it by 50% almost from 5 to 7 cards. So it just tells me they just don't give a fuck about classic. That's what it tells me, and I get it because it doesn't make them any money, but at the same time, like we all have classic cards, so is.
I kind of feel like they, maybe they don't give a hoot and maybe they are forced to or whatever. But again, you said it, everyone said it. We were all, and I was like, I heard people kind of, building up their next season, everything's going to be 5 in seasons and all the rest of it, and that'll be the end of it. And to see the kind of opposite of that being confirmed, I was quite chuffed about that. Is that a decision they're forced to make? I think it probably is, because you do have a duty of care to anyone that bought cards this year, that next year there's some level of viability for them, even in the end season, as that classic slide in sort of thing. So yeah, I was quite buoyed by that, but But yeah, I think like you say, the main problem is the payout for them is keeping that consistently good. But everything in All Star, again, the only question I've not had answered is like, is All Star going to be division based?
I think it will be.
Yeah. Does that make things better?
It definitely it makes it better for the people. Well, not better, but at least it segregates people a little bit. Because I was saying to Led, it could be like 30,000 entries in All Star.
Oh yeah, it'd be jumbo.
It'd be mad. Yeah. So you probably do need, just for optics, you'll probably need divisions, because otherwise it's going to be literally a 30,000 seats a tournament in rare. I know that's normal, maybe almost in limited. Sorry, but for rare, that's kind of unknown. So yeah, I think divisions is a guarantee. I do.
For what it's worth, when I asked him about it, it didn't seem to be an answer. Like, oh, good idea, Well, that's a thought,
In that, I remember in one of the sentences, it was like, they were speaking about Classic, which is now All Star, under 23 champ, and they said something like they mentioned the word divisions in it. So whether they didn't think it sounded like it should be, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they do have it in champ at the moment, so maybe that's just yeah. So it's All Stars, the kind of main one there. But yeah, I don't know. 4 entries as well. It'll be interesting to see how you unlock the 4th one. And the SO7, this is, I get the DNP thing that you're saying, right? But does SO7 actually reduce, not the score, because the raw score will be bigger because there's 7 players in it, right? But does it bring down the average score per player required in a team now to be successful?
Someone said that in the chat. I mean,
yeah, did they?
Counter argument, having DMP is less to a lineup of 1 of 7 than 1 of 5. Right, but you're still not winning anything, are you? You're still not winning the competition. As simple as, you're not.
But like at the moment, let's just, for lack of a better expression, let's say it's easy at the moment to find a 5-man team. Well, let's say 4-man. Who cares about the goalkeeper, right? That can do 80 plus, 75 plus. Yeah, sure. Getting a 7-man team or a 6-man team to score at that same output, I think will be harder and rarer. So then that means like at the moment your kind of eyes bulge at the leaderboard when you see a score over 550, 520 or whatever. And obviously that number will be bigger because there'll be an extra 2 players involved in it, right? And some extra bonuses and all the rest of it. But when you then kind of reverse engineer that against the average per person, like per like playing card, I wouldn't be surprised if the 7 thing actually brought down like the competitive ferocity on the scores, if that makes sense. Like now, if you get anyone under 70, you're pretty cooked. You're not going to get an exciting finish if you've got someone on a 60, 65, 58, 42. But maybe with 7 aside, I'm not talking really about DNPs as much in this, but could you now maybe carry a 52 score a bit easier in SO7 than you could in SO5? And then by, walking that further down the road, maybe a DNP doesn't hit you as hard. Is kind of how I connect those subjects in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think so for like the bottom side of the comp, but like you ain't gonna win the comp. You ain't gonna finish top 10 with a DMP. I just don't care what anyone's gonna try and tell me. So
yeah.
So like, and there's 7 cards to worry about now. So yeah, maybe for like scraping into the cash, it might help if you know what I'm saying. But it ain't gonna help you to get a big finish. So I just think, I mean, it just makes it harder. There's 2 extra cards. I don't, I don't think you can flip it any other way for me, unfortunately. It ain't gonna matter because you still, like, if I'm out to win things, it's harder to win things when I'm trying to pick 7 cards. That's just ultimately it, unfortunately, for me.
That's one thing I wanted to find out as well, and it's sad that this came to me like a few days after Sorare data perished, right? But I would love to know the amount of individual players and lineups that DNP has increased since the Qatar World Cup or over the last season, because it feels like way more of a problem now than it's been the whole time I've played Sorare. Like DNPs have always been a problem, but now it feels like a fucking problem.
I think it's been enhanced because of in season. Because if one of your players, if your in season player DMPs 1 week, you've only got 35 game weeks worth of him. So that decreasing is like mega, isn't it? As far as impact goes, you're saying like, yeah, it's just more players DMPing potentially. Yeah, since like I'm not against it. I'm sure they have but I just think it's just a more of a problem if you're playing in season. Now I know I'm talking about classic here with SO7, so maybe we just don't you just don't care at that point because it's classic. But you still care, and I don't know. I just think, okay, baby's got my knuckle. I don't know. It's just a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, divisions have made the MPs worse.
Yeah, the pain is felt for multiple game weeks thereafter, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I heard on Nep's videos talking about he got relegated out of D1 and he never got back into it with a team.
No way.
Wow. And I think it was a DNP thing that done him. It might have been on that topic he was mentioning it. But yeah, man, like the DNP in divisions is like, you don't just feel it that weekend, but next time you go to build your team, you're like, oh, that fucking manager, It's
like 3 weeks worth. It's brutal. Divisions in season, it makes, just magnifies it, doesn't it? Big time.
Yeah, so it might be a little bit of that magnification, like you say. But I'd be interested. And again, you can't just do DNPs because some people like me will put known DNPs into a team for some XP or just on the random chance some shit happens. But like I don't know, it'd be a hard thing to really quantify. But like players in teams, how many of, maybe in the 22-23 season, did we get like 5 players like a Kimmich or a Vinny or an Mbappe or whoever, even I don't know, in a Kanji or whatever. Do we get like 5 of them in the 22-23 season on average in a game week, and now we get 7 of those guys? That's kind of the thing I would love to know, but don't have the ability to put together or whatever. If you never get into D1 again, there's no need to. I don't know. You've maybe got half a message there, Andreas, but I'm with you. Unpopular opinion, love to hear them. So let's hear it. Smegma Dancer, unpopular opinion. But as someone who has a smaller gallery that doesn't have the budget to stretch to all the smashers, I actually like the DNPs. Yeah. We've all lived that life. I'm with you on that. I think really, and again, the speculation, I've seen the French community or the Belgian community especially saying like, oh, let's hope the thing is that JK, Belgium, Holland, Scotland, etc., get in-season division comps.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if you have a division comp like we've seen with MLS, I would be very surprised if they won't all be late swappable. The single division comps, maybe they leave the regional ones to the mercy of DNPs. And then you've maybe just got your own choice of, well, if I don't want DNPs, this is how I play. I don't know. Chris Holt, they did. I don't know. I think 3 arenas are on the menu somehow, somewhere, right? But the direct response to me was something like the arenas could cost anything, like they do now, 5 or 10 or even less. That's basically a direct quote that I got received. My response to that was, that's not going to go down well unless it's rain in essence. And then the response was, there will be lots of essence. So if it gets to the stage where it was like with Rivals Arena tickets, it's not going to be a big deal for the entries, I don't think. But the knock-on effect in my mind then is, how much does it cost to craft in that situation? Because if like there's 5, 10, 20 essence, if that's nothing to you, so you can do all your arena entries every week, how much of that nothing do you need to have to transform it into a card, So that's maybe a wee bit of the equation that still needs to be known, even with that extra bit of info on top of it, Chris. So I think there will be 3 arenas, but I think they might be sparse and for specific reasons. And I think the agenda is to make sure essence is readily available. I think he did confirm that as well. He said that they're all signed on. I seen that tweet as well.
Do you reckon we get in-season contender and Chal then? Or do you reckon they just get all lumped into one?
I don't see why they wouldn't, personally. Because I don't think Eredivisie, I don't think Belgium probably does. I don't think Eredivisie, I don't think Scotland, I don't think the Turkish licenses, the Portuguese license, I don't think there's enough of those licenses that work as a single division comp, So
I think Belgium does, but I don't think Eredivisie's like, too many. I don't know. Like there's a disparity.
Top 3, top 4, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Where Belgium, at least, it's not really.
Yeah, Belgium
as much.
You could have a wee Westerlo shot and get lucky,
definitely.
Belgium has a bit of that about it for sure. But Portugal, you've only got the 3 teams anyway, so that's just incest, that league. If it was just the 3 of them, it's just like, you know what I mean? Same with the Turkish guys, So I can't see how there's not a region, although there could be league specifics for all these guys.
Right.
But I can't imagine there not being an in-season best of the rest region. At least maybe they do away with the challenger contender vibe, and maybe it's like everyone that can get a league does get a league, and then everyone else just goes into, you know, all region in season or something. But yeah, because I think it's like you'll say Celtic and Rangers, maybe Hearts this year, but if they did a Scottish one, it's just going to be Celtic collections and XP fights, you know, like for the most part. Maybe there's a differential that flies around here and there, but or crazy people at NEP that will do Rangers and Celtic hybrids, you know.
Cardinal sins.
Yeah, so but I don't see SPFL as a standalone comp being interesting for anyone that doesn't buy Celtic cards.
Yeah, 100%.
Rangers, maybe, who knows, but yeah. So yeah, it's been a bit of a week, and I don't know. I'm expecting info by the end of the week from them. You know, just the way that announcement went out, kind of got leaked on the Monday, came out on the Tuesday, and yeah, I'd be surprised if we got to the weekend without further intel. Knowing my luck, 2 minutes after me and Harry are done here, they'll probably drop something, but probably Friday before they leave for the weekend will be their favourite spot to drop something on us. There's a bunch who's joining us live and loud today, guys, as well. We've had a great time on the Deadline show. It's kind of abbreviated as it has been. It's not a full roster of matches and all the rest of it, but Club World Cup, Euro Under 21, MLS is on the go, as well as some fun stacks for J&K and other stuff in Contender. So hopefully you guys are locked and loaded for the game week. You've got tons of good stuff going on. Harry boy, is there anything else you want to dance around or talk about?
Not really, mate. No. I think we covered a decent amount outside of what we've already spoken about on videos and lives and whatever. Interested to see if anything changes or anything with. So I'm not expecting them to, but yeah, I'm sure we'll hear something. Whether I don't know what that something will contain, but I'm interested to see what's going on.
As a Don, not bothered about with competing with Celtic cards, but can't have a single league comp as it's only 6 games. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, because Scotland's 12 teams. They all play. Yes, it's only 6 matches. It's too small. You would think. Yeah, so quite right. So yeah, I think there will be single league comps that will come, but I don't think it will be uniform. There probably has to be a region somewhere, and it will be for those licenses that can't sustain a league one themselves. It's probably the way it goes. But yeah, Harry boy, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
and Crystal, great question. I've not actually spoke to Stish in a few weeks, to be honest with you, so I'm going to say probably won't be my podcast on this week. Harry boy, any plans for you and Feder?
I've spoken to him on WhatsApp and that, but no, not this week. I've got too much on, like Friday and the weekend, to be fair. But maybe next week. He definitely wants to chat with me and stuff. So yeah, that could be interesting.
It could be a fun one. I've got plenty of content scheduled to come out, like videos and stuff. Otherwise, next time I'll be live is tomorrow on Celtsar here at 5 o'clock, if anybody's fancy some Celtic chat. And I was tempted to come back when I thought there was a Saturday deadline, when I thought there was like a hybrid game week thing. Obviously, that's not the case. So we'll maybe get a wee live on over the weekend, maybe a wee bit of watch-along action, perhaps. Could be fun. But yeah, next time I'm scheduled to be back live will be Friday, and I've got family and stuff over, so it'll be kind of hard for me. But I hope you all have a great game week. A great week overall, because it is a full week this game week. And yeah, good luck to you all. I'll wait for Harry to come back to say bye, and then we'll love yous and leave yous, even if it's for a quick wave. But I can't have the show ending with Harry. There we go.
Sorry,
that's all right.
Out
Thanks to everyone.
Yeah, all the best, lads. And yeah, all the best to you, mate.
Take care, everyone.